Hey everyone. I hope everyone is doing fantastic today. I just wanted to come on quickly and do
Hey
a
everyone.
quick live. So I always have to turn off the second thing that comes on there. What I wanted to talk to you guys about today is something so important. It's something that is often left unsaid, or it's a very subtle thing. And it's the energy behind how we show up in our businesses, right? So this is very relevant when we are doing Facebook Lives, uh, masterclasses, presentations, webinars, live streams. In order to have an online business, you need to show up live on camera, right? It was very interesting. The other day, I had a sales call with a woman who does coaching for other women, and she wouldn't come on camera on the Zoom call. And I thought it was really fascinating. And she told me that she absolutely refuses to get on camera for her business as well. And I said, well, then how are you going to have a business online? It's very different having a business online versus having a physical business where you're seeing people face to face. You feel their energy, there's an exchange of energy there. And the person gets to know you, like you, trust you, feel you out. When they're meeting you in person, there's a huge difference there, right? That has to be conveyed somehow when you have an online business. You're behind a camera, basically. How do you convey that? Well, you have to get on camera. A person's going to get to know, like, and trust you so much faster by seeing your face, seeing your expression, seeing your smile, feeling the genuineness behind who you are when you have an online business. She was just going to do like an audio version of her business where people could just hear her voice. And I said, your business is going to take so much longer to grow if you do it that way, if you don't show up on camera. And finally, she ended up turning her camera on during the Zoom session on her own, which I found very interesting. It was so different, such a different energy to get to see her and, see the face and match it to the person who was speaking to me. I felt like so much more of an intimate connection with her. So that was just an interesting thing about being on camera. So, if you have an online business, it's time to stop shying away from the camera and hiding behind the camera. And trust me, I did this for a long time as well. I didn't want to show up because I thought I looked so tired because I have late nights working on stuff, and I don't look good enough, and I'm not going to sound good enough, and all of these things that we tell ourselves. But actually, the message that you put out there is so much more valuable and important than how you look. Believe it or not, people, if you have something to impart to people, something that's very important and valuable, it's so much more important than how you look or what you're wearing or the whole thing. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So if you want to run an online business, you need to get on camera. Now, what is the energy behind how you show up for sales calls, how you show up on camera? So I speak to people who are, doing everything. They're doing the Facebook Lives, they're doing the master classes, they're showing up all the time on camera, they're making offers, but people aren't buying. What's happening there? Same thing with sales calls. When you show up to sales calls, what's the energy that you're showing up with? Are you showing up with a desperate energy, thinking, you really need to buy my stuff at the end of this? I'm showing up, I'm giving you value, yes, but at the end of it, I want to make the sale. I want you to purchase my stuff. Even if it's unsaid, people can feel that energy about, what's behind the why that you're actually, what's the real why? What's the real reason behind why you're doing it? Versus, I'm going to show up with a full heart, unattached from the outcome, completely there to help you and serve you and help you out of your misery and help you to transform your life and help you to get all the obstacles out of the way so that you can finally get better. I'm 100% there to serve you. That's a totally different energy. People feel that energy. At the end of my sales calls, they're like, oh my God, that was so valuable. Whether or not they purchase, that was so valuable to me. I got so much out of that sales call. I have so much that I can take away and work with. And then down the road, they might come back after they think about our product and service, and they might purchase, or they purchase on the spot. It really depends. It can go either way. But if you're kind of unattached from the outcome, you might have better results. Okay. So always mind your energy before you come on to sales calls or go on live. What is it that you are attached to? Do you just want them to buy, and that's why you're doing it? That's your intention behind doing it? Or do you just want to help them get better and they're going to come naturally to you? So this is a really interesting conversation we recently had in the group where I talked about, conversions and making calls and, how many would convert into actual clients. And someone said, well, I come at this from just giving from my heart, and then clients come to me. So I feel both ways about this. I really think it's a fine balance, because I responded by saying, yes, that's all nice and good. But at the same time, we have practitioners who we speak to who have been working with clients for 15, 20 years, 25 years. And speaking with them today, they don't have any money. They're completely broke, and they've been serving from the heart for all of these years, and they don't have anything to show for it, really. So, you have to have a fine balance. You have to be a giver, but then you also have to be a receiver. It all comes down to that. And a trick I want to give you before you get onto sales calls or before you go live on Facebook is come from a place of abundance, not scarcity. What does that mean? It means that if you have 5 sales calls set up for that day, that morning, practice gratitude. So you can write in a gratitude journal and talk about and write down, journal about all the things that you're thankful for, everything that you have in your life that you are so happy for, and the fact that you have so much, and you have so much more than other people have, or whatever. Like, things could be so much worse, right? Because we tend to focus on the negative and all the things that we don't have. Things could be worse. So if we focus on all of the things that we do have, how your cup is so full, you'll come from a place of feeling so abundant, and you won't feel that lack. And people will not feel that lack when you get on calls with them. They'll feel like, wow, this person is so abundant. They're not attached to the outcome. I don't feel like I'm being sold to. I don't feel like I'm being manipulated in any way. It's just this person's really on the call to help me. So you're going to be detached from the outcome because you're in a place of feeling such abundance and gratitude anyway. So it's really nice to be able to come from a place of, take it or leave it. This is something that has helped so many other people before. I've gotten amazing results with this. You can get the same thing. It's on the table for you to take. But if you don't feel like it's the right fit for you, then you can leave it. There are different ways to conduct sales calls. I worked with someone who was all about pushing the call, pushing to the outcome, even to people who were on welfare and didn't have any money. And it just felt so terrible to me. I felt so yucky after those calls, but I learned so much from them. But now on sales calls, it's like, yes, whenever you're ready, you have to be ready for this. You have to be well primed for this. I'm going to give you a little bit more information that you can go away with after our call. You can do some research. And when it feels right to you, then you can circle back and come back, right? What a different energy between being so desperate and trying to close the call right there and then on the call, forcing them out of their objections. It's very subtle. This is all like a science. And it's like an ebb and flow between wanting to earn money, make the sale, versus also being a giver. Okay. But the gratitude exercise in the morning before you have all these activities is going to help you so much. Coming from a place of abundance, not scarcity, people can feel your energy no matter what. And already people are coming to these sales calls with their guards up. They're already defensive. They're already thinking, oh, what's this person going to sell me? Everyone's out to sell me something and take my money. Our job during a sales call is to diffuse that energy and understand that, make them understand that they're in this safe space where actually, and one thing I say now in my sales calls, my sales audits is, I'm going to present something to you at the end, and I'm not going to pitch anything to you. So what I want you to do, it's reverse psychology, is I want you to, if you're interested in hearing more about my offer, I want you to ask me to be pitched to. I want you to ask me. And once you ask me, then of course I will turn my screen around and I will pitch to you. So it's all reverse psychology. Okay. So again, the final, recap of this entire Facebook live stream right now is mind your energy and mind your mindset before you engage in any of your business activities, whether it's writing content, showing up on live stream, getting on a Zoom call with someone, getting on a sales call with someone. When it comes to your business, make sure you're not coming from a place of only wanting to earn without any heart in it. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about this. Have you ever been in a situation where you've had, a certain energy going in because you're worried and you're scared and you're fearful, and it's ruined the outcome of how you interact with someone? And then have you ever tried to shift that energy into a place of abundance and flow and not being attached to the income, not being attached to the income, look at that. And how did that go? What was different in those two types of interactions? So if you have any feedback, let me know down in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. Okay, bye guys. Have a good day.